to travel back
I
and
wandered
forth between
along
the
that
slides.
side.
We'd get
Past
up
the
to the
zoning,
tree line and the cable
past
ties.
the lights and the density blocks. And
Here the
data
carriage
gaming
cross could only pass by
controllers.
single file. On weekends,
I
on the
wanted to
observation
sit there
jetties.
forever.
This moment is long past. I tell them now with some distance that with art one does not transform the real so much as scrutinize and intensify it. One looks to past economies, excavates the present one, or anticipates an uncertain future, spinning out any number of possible scenarios. Each person a philosophical placeholder. One might think nature will always outdo on the beauty front. Even the calcified monuments of deep time are reduced to history, which are more or less enduring or fleeting, but all certainly destined to decay. One is perhaps after something else, accessing some other realm in the order of the virtual, the what if, as if, in between, reconstructing hard to pin down feelings from bits, combining to create, at best, messy affects. It is not in the realm of mounted moths, more in line with the wind sweeping up leaves in detritus.
Twilight at the edge of town, Mark says. By and by, we need to search for an interruption. We need to flip to two light. Between the river and the power line, the chain of recognition is released. Time flies and stays still at the same time. Back and forth, below, the snow line, above the tree line. These are the lines between the poles, blind matter in the sky, landscape at the mouth. The lines that become faces above the water if you can remember them. A quantum entanglement. Looky, looky, there's the interference. Beam pattern.
No shadow, no camera, no sense of orientation. Like a rug being pulled from beneath one's feet. It brings one face to face with one's origins in the real, out of nothing, as with everything else. It materializes, but, in this world, just as quickly disappears. Human-made apparatuses, extracted resources, manufactured objects, and non-human beings float before us, animated to lifelikeness. In this world, nature has an uncanny valley.
Between two places at once. Hologrammer effect, not just dual, but 4 steps, negative, positive, forward, and negative, positive, backward. Or no yes, no yes. Waves coincide at the gate of words, until you get to the bridge and the grammar of a long summer day takes over. It never used to be this hard to navigate the edges, so then, so then, so then. Electron tongues interfere with themselves, so like play. Remember how the noon sun smells? Remember the future?
At times it feels like they want to begin again, from scratch, raise the hand towards the horizon and make that sweeping motion to wipe it clean. To create a space of pure forms, emerging from some hiding place, perhaps out of that fold, and then start to manipulate the forms into an ideal space. To do away with the indeterminacies, to harness the electromagnetic waves towards one's vision of how it could all unfold.
Look both ways for trains and listen to the signal's insistent clanging, clanging. The rule is similar. Far means near. Undeclared enigmas wander, bumpy and flecked. Betwixtuation's disobedience. Between two tracks, the hyphen lies. So then ramble if you think we'll be able to, and know the line is a cycle too. Creosote fringing the tracks, brink of the river, slope. Wait and wait, the density bogs, all summer long here and there, Coincident barking, distant barking.
Now and then, human voices penetrate the soundscape, as if from afar, so muffled one strains to make anything out. I can't hear the words, can't find the words. The feeling comes from beyond language. Any information coming through is bereft of any creaturely interference. One waits in a state of near destitution. Past and post switch places, signaling the indeterminacy of the event that nonetheless unfolds before one's eyes. They speak from a space-time dominated by power stations and electrical towers. A dream space caught in eternal return, drifting on the rhythms of the post-natural, a world already here, or at least just in the offing. The actual will be less and less accessible from here on. It is being taken away. From behind the curtain, they are stealing away with it. This portal has accelerated the experience of lifetimes to the point of utmost longing, but not quite resigned.
A laminated panorama, a circle clanking, walking into town, as if living there was only on one side and we had to be between here and there. The rare seam of graphite shining. What will, then, this and that sings the interval we want to hear that sound again, especially that bump. Jack into the meantime, no diff. The rendering of the interval in that photo was soot. It was black and daytime neon, along the tracks, residue, and connections to navigate the light. We fished through the open doors of the creek, could hear the neighborhood, but I would fall asleep again. At dawn, I'd wake to the sound of an incessant siren, a reminder that kept reminding. When is never the same place again. Standing in the doorway is such a struggle, but a gate would help. Could be a different marker to the untrained eye. A side-to-side door. History had already done the really messy work. By and by, I would have to go to work again, but the interval remained the same.
A melancholy runs deep as one ponders the history of extraction, now nothing more than a numeric sequence within a hypermediated economy. The chain reaction is irreversible, everything in free fall. The lumber booms bobbing, the wind turbines spinning, the garden fences obstructing the view, a broken ladder abandoned, sewn across a field, swaying, then unfurling, this system of satellites that connect sun, pollen, and insects. In theory, a bird flies anamorphically into the void.
So the stage is mass, poetry's mess, augmented, a raw bardo just passing through a perfect fourth. At the same time, I could hear its regularity. Habit hadn't come to work yet. Overtime, the town spills. The edge is garbage, contained by the thingness of place. Memory, he said, is a kind of hulk, a chain, or a balloon wafting over two steel tracks. Not the caboose, but what's after.